Okay. First on the agenda today is just a quick update from me. The RGW suite has had a ton of Valgrind issues lately, and I tracked down a regression in our build pipeline that had removed the boost Valgrind define. So hopefully once that merges, at least some of the issues will go away and we'll be able to focus on the real ones. So maybe once that merges and we have a clean baseline or a baseline with that fix, then I'll share some results in Slack and we can try to group up and fix them. That's all that I had. Next up is Philip. Welcome to the call.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce this one?
Yeah, I'm working on this small feature. Probably it's a wrong way I did it. Yeah, maybe first I should ask you, yeah, for acceptance from this design, but the feature is almost already done. The target is our customer needs to audit Keystone access with to Rados gateway. And today we don't have any possibility to collect this old data. And we discussed it a little bit, and probably it was the easiest way to go, how I also did it, just to forward Keystone scope to Opslog. And yeah, I want to ask if it's acceptable as I did it, and probably maybe I am not sure who can take a look on it and probably say me, yeah, how I can improve it, or if it's acceptable at all, and if somebody needs to be changed or improved, I will do it for sure. Yeah, that's from my side. Because of question, yeah, it's I collect the data from Keystone, forwarded it to Opslog, and have three option keys to turn it on. Two of them are for more for compliance, like personal identity information that you can just switch roles from Keystone Scope, and user names in it, if it's yeah. Yeah, maybe you can tell me who can help me to push this somehow a little bit, yeah, and to go to the right way.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for providing all the detail in the tracker issue. That helps a lot. I did scan the PR before the call today, and it looks very reasonable. There was already a Keystone user thing in there, and I think you kind of just followed the same approach.
Yeah.
That all looks fine to me, but I don't really understand the OpenStack terms here. So I'm happy to review the code changes, but I'll tag a couple other folks to sanity check the Keystone OpenStack stuff specifically.
Should I just wait for somebody that it's some they look on the code, or should I ping somebody, or how it's the better way to go?
I will add some comments to the PR and ping a couple people that I know are relevant.
Okay, thanks. And probably that's it then from my side. And if some suggestion or comments on it, yeah, then please write something. I will do my best to make it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much for the contribution. Overall, it looks great to me, so I don't expect there to be any real resistance here.
Thanks.
all of the documentation, especially in the tracker issue, I think makes it a lot easier to consume. So thanks again. Anybody else have comments on this? All right, moving the agenda to Shilpa. Take it away.
Hi there. So I just wanted to make people aware that there's some ongoing work on BI log refactoring. So this is mostly based on previous work by Radoslaw. I have provided the link to the draft PR and also some high-level design changes that have been made so far. So it's in the link that I have pasted in the Etherpad. So I didn't really have a lot to discuss right now because I simply just wanted to let people know that there is work going on here. But just to tell on the high level, the intention is to separate BI log data from bucket index to enhance scalability. The changes are outlined in the gist. The main things are the CLS changes that was required to separate BI log operations from the bucket index operations, the backend selection logic that uses the bucket index log layout type, which decides which backend to use. And for FIFO itself, starting at a very basic level. So yeah, I could follow up on the design doc and also the draft PR in a couple of weeks. But just please take a look at it and then let me know if there's any feedback. Thanks.
Great. Looking at the gist, it's talking about CLS stuff first. I guess I'm curious, these CLS changes, so currently the CLS calls go straight to the bucket index and do both the bucket index change and the BI log entry in the same on the same Rados object in the same call. Are these modified ones going to be operating on separate objects, like in the same CLS app issuer or app?
So it's only going to separate whatever the log operations that are required from the bucket index operations. So yes, it's going to be separated. Yeah.
I guess so we have a separate CLS module for FIFO, right? Does that mean that CLS RGW is now going to be the client for CLS RGW is going to be making calls into FIFO also?
So you're talking about the new Rados 5.4, right? Because that's what I'm currently using for this. Because I think we deprecated the CLS 5.4 legacy that we had as part of Adam's work.
Yeah, I guess my general thinking here is that maybe we don't want to use CLS RGW interfaces to do both of these things, but have that at a higher level in RGW where that will issue some CLS RGW.
The FIFO stuff is not happening at the CLS level. No, it's at the RGW level.
Okay, good.
And further for FIFO backend, I've just chosen single FIFO per bucket It's not sharded for simplicity because bucket index sharding. I didn't want the FIFO objects to change with the bucket index resharding. And currently we support, I have added support for both blocking and non-blocking async interfaces, but all the calls are just going to sync interfaces right now. I haven't tested the async interface. And I've also provided async batching interface, but that's something that I don't want to enable currently. So right now the batching takes just one. So that means for every single operation, we are going to be writing to FIFO. Maybe at some point we want to avoid that, but until we get the FIFO testing done and see how it's working, then we could enable async batching. But the support has been provided, and so most of the NeoRados FIFO follows the data log pattern. Yeah, and for backend dispatching, the routing is based on bucket configuration. So currently I have, so what I want to achieve is that FIFO should be the default backend for BI log operations, but I haven't made that change. It's just OMAP right now, and that should be configurable, but I don't know, I think Adam and I had a discussion about how the migration should take place. It still needs more discussion, but for example, let's say we have the BI log residing on the OMAP, and then you switch to FIFO. So how do we read the BI log that's residing on OMAP? We need some kind of translation there. So for this, data log uses the generation-based approach. So that is also something that I am planning to use for BI log. Yeah, and there are a list of things to do that I have also listed out in the gist. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, one comment about, you mentioned that it's currently not sharded. I get that supporting like resharding of that would be tricky, but I think that we might want to pick some default level of sharding, just especially because on the sync side, bucket sync is, it gets its parallelism from processing the independent BI log shards. And so if there's only one shard of the log, then that'll all go through one coroutine.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel that it's gonna add some complexity to resharding. So I don't really know how to handle that. But maybe we'll need some more discussion around it. We could start with a small number first, maybe. I don't know what that small number should be, and then see how and take it from there.
Sounds good.
And what do you think about the asynchronous changes? Do you think for our first version, do we want to add it, or just ensure that the CLS changes are working fine and we're not breaking anything with respect to bucket index? At least that's what I thought. Maybe we should just keep it synchronous for now, ensure that things are working okay, and then switch to asynchronous. I mean, the support is already there. It's just making sure that we call them.
Yeah, if you think that starting with synchronous is easier to kind of validate that the logic is correct, then go for it. Ultimately, I definitely think they should be async, but you don't have to start there.
Right. Okay. And even as for batching, we spoke about this a year ago as well, that we wanted to support batching. So that's also something I want to experiment with. I guess that's all I had. And the draft PR is not yet ready. It's still, I mean, rebasing is hard because the original PR was 5 years old. I mean, it took a lot of effort to just get here. So rebasing further is also going to be hard. So you might still see that it's kind of broken.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. That's it.
Anybody else have feedback? All right, how about any final topics? Anything come up at Cephalicon that you guys want to follow up on and discuss here? All right. Well, let's wrap it up then. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.